Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here. Welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 2 for the week, and we got the cat deck on again. Spoiler alert, there's going to be a cat deck on every round this week. Don't ask me how I managed to do that. I just picked... I'm pretty sure I picked a different set of players every round, and yet I managed to get a Purrely deck on every round. That's got to be impressive. I don't know, but we're gonna see actually a cool deck on the left here, based strategy, the Bystial Dragonlink deck, which I think with the new Bystial cards, you know, the Bystial Dispater, right, this deck has just gotten a lot cooler. It might be Seal's past, but it can definitely evolve and do a lot more than that. And it can definitely do a lot more than that in most cases. But we're going to see a Veiler on the Bystial Rebellion, and it's going to make them go into one of their main key strategies, which is going to that Seals, that geometric figure, that sphere. And yeah, they're going to pass turn there. Also, reminder to subscribe to the channel already if you haven't, so we get to 30,000 subscribers. Hopefully that'll happen sometime soon. We're kind of stalled out right now, so please, again, consider subscribing if you haven't already. But we're going to see Purrely go first, activating the field spell. Then we're going to activate a quick play, and I talked about this in the last feature match. I swear, from when I'm commentating this, I can barely tell some of these quick play spells apart. I only know Happy Memory because it's an ultra rare, and I'm pretty sure everything else is a rare common. So bear with me, but I'm pretty sure that is Delicious Memory. So you're going to discard the Yeep, and they're going to bring out a copy of Purrely. And this is going to go ahead and let them excavate 3, and we see Grappa. So they are playing the Dark World Engine 2 like we saw in the previous round, but I don't think that other bill was playing Grappa. But it is cool. I mean, it's like a free pop. It's searchable. Like 90% of the cards in the deck are E-Tellies, and they require a discard. So like going second, why the hell not, right? So we're gonna see them activate another Purrely card here. There's a glare here. I had to record in a different spot this time around. Oh, they're activating the other Delicious they got. That's right. These cards aren't once per turn too. It's just like, who is in charge of some of these cards, man? When they get designed, like what are we doing? It's like Zodiac and Sky Striker had a child. You get Purrely. Yeah, that's literally it. Terrible artwork, terrible names. Like, the names of the monsters, dumb. Like, why is the one just called Purrely? They could have called it literally anything else. Why is it one, like, Purrely? I'm ranting now. Whatever. So they're going to go ahead and activate my friend Purrely. And they're going to go ahead and chain the Erratic Seals. That is going to bounce it. They're like, nice, you just paid 500 for nothing. Got him. Bounce that back to the hand. They're going to summon out off of the Seals that Starleash Safer, and they're going to activate the Bystial Druis Worm, banish an effect Veiler out of the opponent's grave, because why not, and then activate a 2 to the branded. This is basically Synchro. You just Synchro. Yeah, it's just like a trap card that lets you Synchro. Kind of a cool effect. Definitely draws my eye. And they're going to go ahead and Synchro into the Chaos Angel. And I know neither of those monsters are tuners, but I believe the Chaos Angel has a specific summoning condition where you can treat a light or dark monster, I believe, as a tuner or something along that line. So they're going to go ahead and Synchro for the Chaos Angel. They're going to be able to banish the field spell. And they didn't use Druis Worm there, but they couldn't have used it anyways. It has to be on a special monster, and they couldn't target any of those 2 special monsters because of the field spell. So they have to get rid of the field spell with, I believe, the Chaos Angel. And now they're going to go ahead and Ixies here with the Purrely, and we'll see them go into, and again, the extra deck monsters, some of them, I swear, look absolutely the same. I think that's Happiness. E-Purrely, not X-Purrely, E-Purrely Happiness. And at the end of the damage step, if this card battled, you can add a Purrely card from your deck to your hand. Also, if this card has Purrely Happy Memory as a material, you can have the attack of one face-up monster in the field up to thrice per turn when you activate a Purrely Quick Play spell. Quick effect, you can attach that card on the field to this card's material, then you can return one spell trap your opponent controls to the hand. Yeah, so that is what that card does. Or maybe that's Plump. No, I think that's Plump. Yeah, I think that's Plump. It's hard to tell this angle. My apologies. But Plump is just getting plump. I mean, the name speaks for itself. It is getting loaded with materials. Like you could, it's like almost like we're building another deck underneath this card. And then we're gonna slap the Purrely Noir, which you can basically just exchange over top. I believe any Purrely monster that has like a certain amount more materials. Yeah, 5 or more materials. Yeah. And it is basically unaffected by your opponent's card effects, by activated effects. That's an important thing to remember. It's activated effects. So like you can tribute it with Rika Con because that's not an activated effect, to tribute the opponent's monsters as your own. A little important note. But yeah, so it's basically towers, and you can detach 2 materials and basically target a card the opponent controls and put it at the bottom of their deck. And you can do that. I think is it up to thrice per turn? I think it's just as long as you have materials to do it. Yeah, kind of crazy. So we're gonna see the branded Bystial Dragon deck have the turn handed back over to them, and now they have to try to deal with this Purrely Noir, and it is gaining a decent amount of attack right now because of the materials underneath it. I'm not sure which one it is that boosted up attack, but it is definitely a lot stronger than 1100 attack right now. So our Bystial Dragonling player is going to have to come up with a creative way here to try to out this Purrely Noir, most likely in the battle phase. And they do technically have one way to do that, although it might take a little bit of setup. So we're going to go ahead and summon Bystial Despater, and then they're going to go ahead and use the Bystial Lubellion, send off, I believe that was a Serenir that was brought back off the Despater, and they're going to go ahead and place the Branded Beast in the Spell and Trap Zone. And again, they're kind of spinning their wheels right now, but I believe they do have a way to out this Purrely Noir at the attack stats that it is at. I think it's like 4,000 or something right now. It's pretty huge. But yeah, and like if you're the Purrely player right now, you don't even need to use the bottom effect because like it's just, you don't need to. You just sit on it, you know, put the ball in your opponent's court, be like, out this, otherwise I'm gonna just keep gaining advantage until you can eventually go for a game, which the deck can definitely do. I believe there's a way the deck can OTK with, I think it's Happiness, the Purrely Happiness, or Purrely Happiness. There's like an OTK line with that or something. I've played against Purrely, I think, like a handful of times, but, you know, still learning the deck, still learning the matchup. And they're going to go ahead and get, I think they just search Tracer there, yep. And, yeah, so I'm pretty sure the way they out this Noir, and some of you guys watching this may already know what the move might be, but I'm pretty sure it's to make Borland Dragon, and then summon Borreload Savage Dragon and equip the Borland to the Savage Dragon, because not only will it give it 5 counters, it's a lot of counters, but it's also going to allow the Borrel Savage to gain half the attack that the Borland had, which is at 3,500, so they can gain, what is that, like 1750? So it'd be at 4750, and that will definitely, I think, be enough in this case to be able to beat over the Purrely Noir. So they're going to go ahead and use now, though I think that was Branded Beast, clearing the Despater and clearing the Purrely monster that was still on the field. And they're going to go ahead and get the Branded Regain back. End phase, I believe they're getting their Magnamut Search of the Chaos Emperor Pendulum Scale, just again trying to set up for a potential you know, line there. And I imagine they'll go for that line with the Borrel Savage and the Borrel End, because otherwise I don't know how else you out this, because again it has to be outed in the battle phase. There's no other way to out it unless you can force them to use the materials, which is going to be easier said than done. So Purrely will draw, pass, after contemplating maybe taking action, but they aren't going to do anything. They're just going to pass turn, and we'll see the Bystial deck, go ahead and start by discarding the Lubellion, searching Magnemut, and then it looks like they're going to go ahead and activate Magnemut, banishing the Striker Dragon. That's going to get put back off of Regain, allowing them to draw. They draw into Talents. Yeah, Talents doesn't even out the Noir either. The big cat. I wanted to call it just the big cat, but there's other big cats apparently. There's X Purrely Happiness, which I don't think I've seen summoned once, unless that's the one that goes to the OTK, because there's E Purrely Happiness and X Purrely Happiness. It's just a mess. It's just a mixed bag, you know. So now we're gonna see them go into the triple burst, and this might be where they try to potentially go for that Boral Savage line. And also they did take quite a bit of damage the previous turn, because I believe the Noir has one of the cards underneath that allows it to, I think when it attacks something, it's not destroyed by battle, so it can attack multiple times, so they're able to deal quite a bit of damage last turn. So with that being said, they have put their opponent on, you know, a little bit of a clock here, and they tried to use the Pisty there with the triple burst setup to bring back the Dispater, and it's going to get hit with an Effect Veiler. And then they're going to use the Chaos Emperor in the scale, getting rid of itself. I think they added back a Safer. And I believe... Yeah, I don't know if they've normal summoned yet this turn. You can see the table tapping is intensifying. That means the gears are turning. I'm trying to figure out just exactly how they can do what they need to do to be able to out this big cat. So they're going to link off with the Chaos Angel here. They're going to go into Boral End. So there's the Boral End. So now the real question is, how do we get to the Boral Savage? So we're going to go ahead and use the Boral End to negate the Safer, to bring out Rocket Tracer. And then they're going to summon the Chaos Emperor from the scale by banishing both Bystial Lubellion and Bystial Serenir. And then link off the Chaos Emperor Pendulum and the Boral End into Seals. That's going to put the Boral End in the graveyard. And then Synchro 8 for Boral Savage. Equip Boral End. That is a huge Boral Savage. And now they are free to go into the battle phase and finally out that Noir for just a little bit of damage. And yeah, attacking with the Seals for 0 damage as well. And yeah, I mean, I gotta say that was kind of impressive to see that line play out over the course of a couple turns there. So yeah, they're gonna go ahead and pass turn successfully out. They've got plenty of counters to negate over the next couple turns with that Boral Savage, and the Purrely player is actually just gonna go ahead and mid-defeat there. Into game 2 we go. Reminder, guys, to check out my TCG player affiliate link down in the description below. Also check out Imperium Duelist if you haven't already. Got a discount code through them. When it kills 10 off, you can use it to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. So we're going to see Purrely go first here in game 2. They got to go first in the first game. Things didn't end up working out. Let's see if it works out for them here. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and use, I think that is Purrely Happy Memory. You know, some Purrely, I think. Or that might be Purrely. And then they're going to activate My Friend Purrely. That's going to get Ghost Ogre. They had to Ash a Gamma earlier, which is kind of rough. And they're going to go ahead and tribute. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and tribute summon for Vanity's Fiend. And I guess why they ashed that Gamma on that Purrely makes sense now, because they wanted to keep the body on field so they could normal summon the Vanity's Fiend. And this could be a rather short game 2 here with that little cheeky Vanity's Fiend lock that is actually really lame that the deck can pull this off. But, you know, that's what happens when you give a deck the ability to put out a ton of bodies without needing its normal summon. You can just play cards like that. They normal summon Snow to make that process go a little bit faster, and, you know, the beatdown terms of things. So Purrely will win game 2 via Vanity's Fiend. We are into game 3, and we're going to see the Bystial Dragon Link player lead with Chaos Space pitching Absolrouter. That's one hell of a combo. One hell of a way to start off your turn. They're going to add Bystial Lubellion, and they're going to add Rocket Tracer, activate Lubellion effect. They're like, go ahead, droll me. I've got that Gamma strapped. Do they have Gamma, though? I can't tell. That'd be actually pretty nice, that Gamma. Just absolutely delete your opponent there with that opening. Absorouter, Chaos Mage, Pitch, Absorouter, activate, draw on res, chain Gamma. Yeah, that's the handshake right there. So they're going to summon out the Magnamut by banishing Absorouter. Then go ahead and normal Tracer, and then Synchro into Dissipator. Dissipator is going to bring back the Absorouter, and then they're going to use Lubellion to send the Absorouter to the grave to summon itself, and then they're going to go ahead and play that branded Regain in the scale. And they have Epidemic Eradicator Virus in the hand, and they also just set, I think that might have been Branded Beast, I can't tell. And I think that is a quick launch in hand. No hand traps. Very, very minimal interruptions here. The Eradicator Virus, I don't know if it's going to do a whole lot. I mean, it will force out a lot of cards in the hand, but, you know, they are all quick plays, and they can all be chained directly in response to the EEV. So, I mean, we'll see how this plays out. I doubt it's going to have any real value, since, again, they can just chain them all, and here we go. We're going to see him activate Pretty Memory, which I'm pretty sure last game, when they used Pretty Memory, or one of these games, I went back and looked. I don't think they gained life points off the Pretty Memory, but I remember that's the ultra rare one. That's the one that makes both players gain 1,000. And I think they forgot that. But they're going to activate Pretty, and then I think that's Happy Memory, I think. And they're going to summon out, I think that's a Purrely there. I know you guys can't see it because there's a huge glare. Shout out to the fighting game tournament that shows up every week now that steals my recording spot sometimes. But we make do. They bring out regular Purrely off the other monster. Or off the other spell, sorry. I believe that was the Happy Memory. And Regain, summoning back the Dissipator. And Snow doing Snow things, searching out another copy of itself to refuel the hand. And searching out a copy of the My Friend Purrely. And that will not get destroyed by the EEV, because it only checks, I believe, each draw phase after activation. It doesn't, like, once the initial check happens, it's not destroying cards that you, you know, grab to your hand later on like we're seeing here. So I think that's Delicious Memory they just got there off of the regular Purrely, and I'm sorry if I'm messing things up in the commentary here. I'm trying my best. And, I mean, there really isn't much left of a board. I don't know if they can't just go for like a Zeus with like 1,000 materials and just call it a day. But they're going to go ahead and use the Druid's Worm, and that's going to banish the Snow in the graveyard. That's I guess one of the unfortunate things about maybe playing the Dark World engines, because you just give your opponent, like in this particular matchup, you're giving them free Bystial fodder. I guess that's a downside if you don't play the Rainbow Bridge engine. I don't know if that's actually something any you know, competitive Purrely players would want to consider taking into account as like maybe a reason not to play the Dark World engine. I think it seems like the best discard engine just because like how free the card advantage is, and there's no bricks really, like Cobalt Eagle or whatever. And looks like they're going to use Branded Beast, getting rid of the My Friend Purrely after paying the 5, and they'll be able to send off the Purrely, which is definitely, I think, the better of the two to get rid of off the board. They're going to go ahead and normal summon now. I think that is a regular Purrely, and they're using Dissipator here, and they're going to shuffle back an opponent's banished card, and that will allow them to, I believe, negate the effect of that monster, because I think it's the opponent's card you negate, and I think if one of your cards you destroy. I believe that's how that works, since it is still on the board. And they're going to go ahead and Ixies with the other one into, I believe that is Plump. And they're going to attach a Delicious and a Pretty underneath that. And want to double check Plump here. One turn, you can target up to 2 spell traps in the graveyard, attach them to the card as material. Its quick effect has Delicious Memory as material, which it does now, I believe. And then up to thrice per turn, when you activate a Purrely Quick Play spell, you can attach the card in the field to this card's material. So they're going to want to attach the Dissipator to it and slap a Noir on top of it. And summon it in defense this time around. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 materials. So it is unaffected. It does have a Purrely monster underneath it. It is unaffected. And we're passing it back over to our Dragon Link player now. We're putting him on the spot again. Yes, you did it game 1, but can you do it again here in game 3? Can you go for that that line? Now, the Noir has 2,800 defense. So... yeah, and I believe Delicious Memory gains 300 attack and defense for each material attached to it, so it's gaining 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. It's gaining 1,800 defense if I'm doing this correctly here, so that's 38. That's like 4,600 defense. Boral Savage might be able to get over that still because it's gaining 35, right? It's gaining 35. Well, half of 35, which would be 1,750. We put up to 3,750. That might be enough. But they have to try to get to it now. And they are comboing, going to triple burst with the Pisty setup. The classic arrow markers. They're going to bring back a banished Abzerauder and then link 5 into Boralen Dragon. And Boralen cannot be targeted. And it looks like the Purrely player is going to admit defeat. And the reason I think they're doing that is because they realize if they use the Noir there, it's going to be able to be affected. And they also can't just deal with Boralen right away there anyways, because it can't be targeted by monster effects. So, yeah, we're going to see the Bystial Dragon Link take the win there. Last but not least, a big shout out goes to our Divine level channel members who are Misfit, 88 Cyber, Cadillac 84, Pony Stark, and Green. Thank you guys so much as always for your very kind and extremely generous support of the channel.